CBS 4's Brian Andrews is live at Miami International with what's going on there. Brian?
Well, Elliot, this is what you can see. Members of the Miami-Dade Police Department, also TSA is out here from the Department of Homeland Security checking the cars. But there's also a lot of stuff happening inside the terminals that you can't see, like specially trained agents who look at behavioral patterns of passengers, and even they're carrying around these little detectors that can check for radiation. Just beyond the giant electronic sign greeting everyone who drives into the airport, past the giant American flag that flies today at half-staff, cars and trucks are being stopped and checked as South Florida law enforcement makes their presence known on this anniversary.
Tú sabes, hoy es septiembre 11.
Sí.
This woman from Cuba told me she knows it's September 11th, and she doesn't mind the extra security at the airport. It's been a while since we've seen something like this on the main terminal road. Bright orange cones, armed officers in bright green vests, explosives detection dogs, and mirrors to check cars' undercarriages. Were you here at the airport when 9/11 happened?
No, I wasn't.
Where were you stationed?
I was actually stationed in Narcotics Bureau.
Oh. But that was a time that no one who worked in Miami-Dade Police will ever forget.
That's correct. It's a day we'll never forget.
Now, this is a second checkpoint on Perimeter Road, which is not too far from the airport's southeast gate. And right here, you've got a number of different officers from a number of different agencies doing the same thing they're doing on the airport's main drag. They are checking all of the vehicles. Do you mind being stopped and checked on the 13th anniversary of 9/11?
Not a problem for me.
Most of the people are leaving with a smile, realizing that, you know what, with this heightened security, you know what, this is for them.
And we take you now to videotape out of Hollywood Fort Lauderdale International Airport, where the TSA and the Broward Sheriffs, working with Homeland Security, have set up a similar operation. So if you're heading to either airport, be aware there might want to plan for some extra time, as there are extra security checkpoints today. And here we are back live in Miami at the airport with, you're from the TSA, right?
Yes, I am.
Patriotic duty today.
Absolutely.
Can't believe it's been 13 years.
Yes. Incredible.
All right, well,
like
these
yesterday.
Like yesterday. I know, isn't it crazy? 13 years ago, I was actually here at the airport trying to get a flight to New York, and then they grounded all the flights. Nonetheless, these checkpoints are going to be in place until 10 o'clock tonight. We'll have more tonight at 5. Reporting live from the airport, Brian Andrews, CBS 4 News.
CBS 4's Brian Andrews is live for us tonight at Miami International Airport. Brian.
13 years into the post-9/11 world, we have a Department of Homeland Security. Osama bin Laden is dead, but now we have new threats from ISIS and even homegrown wackos, which is exactly why South Florida's federal law enforcement community today chose this anniversary to make sure that their presence and vigilance is known. Body armor in black, carrying big guns with their sights set on detecting anyone who might want to start trouble. There is a more visible police presence inside the terminals at MIA. The security you cannot see: electronic surveillance, portable radiation detectors carried by undercover federal agents, some of whom are specially trained to read body language and analyze human behavior for any threats. This is the post-9/11 world, 13 years after that horrible day, which includes vehicle spot checks heading into the terminals at Hollywood Fort Lauderdale International Airport. 2 checkpoints were set up on the roads leading into MIA. With all the crazy things happening in the world and this new threat from ISIS, is the increased security we're seeing today connected to that?
No, not at all. You know, we want folks to know that we're looking out for their interests all the time. We want them to know they're safe here, they're safe to travel through here.
As they guarded against threats at the airport, police were checking out a telephone threat to the offices of the Miami-Dade County Commission. Commission chambers were cleared and parts of the government center swept for explosives. The mayor later issuing a statement saying in part it was done out of an abundance of caution. Nothing was found, but county business was disrupted and meetings were canceled. Coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, you're going to hear from some people who were sitting in traffic a little longer today trying to get to the airport because of the increased security, and we will take you beyond the security checkpoints to a very special place on the American Airlines concourse today, where there was a moment to remember all those lives that were lost in Washington and New York 13 years ago. Reporting live from the airport, I'm Brian Andrews, CBS 4 News.
Today, officials held security sweeps at our major airports. CBS 4's Brian Andrews was reporting the news from Miami International Airport on that day 13 years ago. He's there tonight with more.
As bagpipes played, the airport fire chief and police major laid a wreath at the Flag of Honor. The memorial on the American Airlines concourse bears the names of all who died that day.
Wanted everybody to pause, think for a minute, and remember what happened 13 years ago today.
There was more of a police presence than you might be accustomed to seeing at MIA this day. Officers were all over the terminals, increasing their visibility on a day our nation has promised never to forget. At Hollywood Fort Lauderdale International Airport, the Broward Sheriff's Office, along with their Homeland Security partners, were checking cars arriving at the airport's main terminals. At MIA, there were 2 mobile checkpoints, one that thousands pass through on the road leading to the main terminal complex.
Tú sabes, hoy es septiembre 11. Eso es porque
This woman
tú
told
estás-
me she knows it's September 11th, and she doesn't mind the inconvenience. The other checkpoint on Perimeter Road, close to one of the gates that gives access to the runway area. Do you mind being stopped and checked on the 13th anniversary of 9/11?
Not a problem for me.
Have you had any resistance?
No, none whatsoever. Like I said, most of the people are leaving with a smile, realizing that, you know what, with this heightened security, you know what, this is for them.
In downtown Miami, police were called into action to check out a possible threat at the chambers of the Miami-Dade County Commission, which was briefly evacuated and had the rest of its meetings canceled for the day. The mayor said in a statement that police K-9 units were called in to sweep the 2nd and 3rd floors and other parts of the government center out of abundance of caution. Nothing was found. But back here at Miami International Airport, there were several arrests today connected to those impromptu security checks out on the roadways. At least 3 that we know of, including one who was wanted on a deportation order. Reporting from MIA, Brian Andrews, CBS 4 News.